Good evening. How's everybody doing today? We're just going to take a look at a couple of things that we're working on in the golf shop this evening. We have one of the GolfWorks regripping stations right here. And the greatest thing about this working station is it allows you to hold the panel to go ahead and catch the fluids as you go ahead and pour it onto the tape or anything for that matter. We've got the golf club anchored into the vise here. This thing's really awesome. It saves you a bunch of time from doing it the good old-fashioned way, which is the old rubber clamp and lining everything up. It's just so much easier to have the handle and the vise in place. And then also the tape dispensers right here. I like to go ahead and pre-cut my tape, so I pull it off of here. I measure each piece of tape out to the grip that I'm going to use, and go ahead and stick them up on my panel. I can just grab them real quick. So I'm kind of doing a couple steps at one time. So you can see here's a shaft. That one's yet to be taped. Here's a couple over here that I've already taped. And when we put the shaft into the vise, we also have a gauge at the top that allows you to keep everything nice and square so that the club face is square when you put it in, and then that way it gives you the ability to line the grip. This particular grip that we're using is the Golf Pride V55 grip, so you'll see it has the alignment aids right on there. This is a round grip, so it does not have a rib. What a rib means is it sometimes has a reminder rib run down through the bottom or back side of the grip. This one does not have that. It's just a round all the way so that your hand is continually unified to the grip. But the reminder, this particular client of mine actually likes having the reminder on there. So we went ahead and got grips that allow him to form his hand in the same spot. So let me go ahead and show you a couple things that I like to try to do for my students or a particular client that will from time to time have me do golf grips for them. And I do all my own golf grips just because I have a particular way that I like to put the tape on so that the grip is the same size every time. Not to throw anybody under the bus, but a lot of times when a lot of places do regrip golf clubs, they leave all the old tape on there and it just keeps building up, and then when that happens you get inconsistent grip sizes. So whatever the grip size is, obviously with one wrap of tape it's going to say standard to that grip size unless you do any build-up tape. And then there's obviously gauges that you can use to measure that. This particular grip, again, when we put the tape on, so let me grab that tape here. And, well, actually, I'm holding the camera, so let me pause this for just 1 second. So I've just paused that because I wanted to start the tape for you. Okay, so what I do is I've run the edge of the tape down the middle of the golf shaft right here. And the reason I like to do that is because it gives me a nice starting guide. And once I get the tape on there nice and straight, I will go around it and make sure that this tape sticks to every granule of this golf shaft. And in some instances, I would also make sure that the shaft is perfectly clean. If I did have any residue of any sort on the golf shaft, I would clean it off using some Windex, dry it with a clean white towel so that I don't have any way of not having the grip tape not stick to that shaft, because that's critically important to me when I'm redoing the grips. Because if for some reason you get a bubble at all or a piece of the shaft with something in it that doesn't stick to that tape, then all of a sudden that grip could come loose, and I never want that to happen. So what I'll do, and again I'm holding the camera, but I would just go around and push into that shaft, and take a little extra time to do this because I don't want to shortcut myself by any means, but press it the whole way around. Keep the tape nice and smooth and round so that there are no air bubbles at all, because again, any air bubbles or anything like that could give it a possibility of coming free or coming undone, and I don't want that new grip to come off there at all. So you see, and I just continually work that grip tape around there like that until it becomes solidified all the way around to the grip. Again, this is important to me because I take pride in making sure that the work that I do is done very good, and I don't want it to come back and haunt me later on, so I might as well just do it right the first time and make sure that everything is done right. Okay, so you see that. So there I Took my time. I moved it all the way around nice and smoothly. And then what I'll do is just run my hands across it maybe a couple more times just to make sure that it is perfectly smooth and there are no air bubbles. You can see it's sticking there real nice. And then all you do is just get the corner of that grip with your fingernail, and you'll see that there it comes right off. Nice and easy, like that. Now you've got the grippy side here. And then what on the rear end of the club, I just take that tape, tuck it all together, make a real nice bond there at the end, so no grip fluid or anything can get in the bottom side of that. We're just going to seal it up like that. There we go. It makes a nice good fit on the bottom side there. And there you have it. Now you're ready for installing the grip.